YouTube, how's it going? Welcome back to the channel. So today guys, we are gonna talk about the light decks. So Dogmatikas are very straightforward for this matter. You just have to summon your Zoa and a copy of White Relic to the field. That is basically your purpose there, and then just dissect your opponent's extra deck and then remove the necessary cards, or they will remove the necessary cards for you. The thing about Dogmatikas is that they're not really that good if they're going first because they can be removed from the field. What the best part about light decks are for this event is the ability to have a ton of hand traps accessible for them. But this would be somewhat of a, let's say, go second type of thing. So it's much easier to like dish out more damage and dissect your opponent's board. The only downside for that matter for this Dogmatika deck, if going second, is that you will go through the whole problems like what you call this, a really good board for your opponent, or even so going up against another oppressive deck that is Runic if ever you can't find any dark deck to fight against. So my playstyle for this is just going second because majority of the time your opponent can't do anything on the first turn based on what I have experienced in my previous games for the event. Yeah, just go second, and then afterwards just remove a ton of cards from your extra deck, or just summon all of your Dogmatika monsters to the field and dish out more damage to your opponent's life points. That is why we have some front row and back row removals like the Harpy Splitter Duster, the Lightning Storm, and a copy of Raigeki just to level the field out. We also have a copy of Evenly Matched just to remove the necessary cards from your opponent. And if ever you're going up against a Labyrinth deck, then basically you'll have a red reboot accessible for you. And like I said on my previous video, the light decks are very good when accessing the hand traps since they are mostly light. Like an Effect Veiler or Snow Rabbit, we are not using Effect Veiler from here on out. Also a copy of Colbody Wave and Emperor, because typically there's not much going on in the graveyard for that matter. So might as well just gonna go second and then have a ton of front row and back row removal for this type of gameplay. But so far so good. We had a really good run with this deck. That's basically it. And yeah, this deck is just so straightforward that I don't even think that I can just narrate during this replays. But anyhow, here is the deck profile. We have three Diviners, 3 copies of Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit, 3 copies of Ecclesia, 2 copies of Fleur de Lis, 2 copies of Maximus, 1 copy of Ashiyan, 1 copy of White Relic of Dogmatika, 2 copies of Zoa, 1 Raigeki, 1 Harpy Splitter Duster, 3 copies of Pre-Preparations of Right, 1 Lightning Storm, 2 Nadir, 1 copy of Triple Tactics, 2 copies of Calamity, 1 copy of Dogmatika Cabre, 3 copies of Matrix, 3 copies of Evenly Matched, 3 copies of Dogmatika Punishment, and lastly 2 copies of Red Reboot. For your extra deck, since we only have 2 copies of Elder Entity Entes, we just max this out. 2 copies of Dust Dragon as well for your punishment. 2 copies of Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon for your copy of Zoa. 3 copies of Herald of the Arc Light. Now this is very important for the Dogmatika deck. This will allow you to search out any ritual monster or any ritual card or spell from your deck and add it to your hand once this card is sent to the graveyard. 1 copy of Cyframe Omega, a really good floater in the graveyard. 1 copy of Jibreen allows you to negate a monster effect on the field. 3 copies of Secure Gardener, and lastly 1 copy of Underworld Goddess of the Closed World. Now that is your deck profile right there, guys. Let's move towards the replays. And like I said, this deck is very straightforward, and all I need to do is just showcase you guys 4 replays for that matter. So I don't really need to narrate during this replays, and enjoy. Alright, so here you go. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Keep safe, good luck, and goodbye.